Andreas from the Hub team.
And my name is Mariana.
And today we're going to show you how to create a startup profile in the Hub. So we're going to show you the full screen, so I'm just going to take this off right here. And the first thing you're going to do is to click in the top right corner for startups. That will take you to here where you can create your startup profile. It takes approx 7 minutes. We're going to talk you through the different steps.
So let's get started. First things first, we need to confirm your eligibility to join the Hub. We need to first figure out that you are actually a startup. You might be wondering what we mean when we say a startup, and we've written a whole blog post about it. So we're going to keep it short here. You can read the whole thing through the link we are going to put into the video description. In a nutshell though, we basically want you to have preferably a tech component, work with something roughly innovative, and be striving towards growth. On top of that, you need to be based in the Nordics. That means Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway, or in our 5th market area, Northern Ireland. You also need to be registered as a business in one of the above countries and have a functioning website. These two we will come back to later, but for now, let's just say that yes, our startup is eligible and we can move on. Then we need to know who is the person actually behind the profile. So in this case, we're going to start by signing up with my email with our fake startup that we created just for this purpose. So my name is Mariana, and I'm going to be called Mariana Test in this video. My email is mariana@foundation.io.
Yes.
My password, let's create a really strong one. All those numbers and big and small letters, excellent. I'm not a robot. And here we go. We can actually start creating the startup profile.
Yeah, so first step is that we want to hear how you heard about the Hub. It can be from a lot of different options, of course, but please choose one here. Was it a Google search, an offline event? Was it a friend, a good colleague of yours? For this purpose, we're going to choose a friend, and we're going to go through to the next step where you get the chance to shine. So here we set the stage. It is the first impression. You can add a logo, a startup name, a short, crisp description of your startup. The first thing you want to do is to add a square image of your logo with a solid background. It has to be at least 100 times 100 pixels. We have made a beautiful logo right here. As you can see, we're going to add that. And magically, it pops up here on the right side in the live preview. Our startup name was Foundation.io. And we have made a little description ready. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to take it from your LinkedIn, your about page and your website. You might have a bit of content material yourself. You're also more than welcome to freestyle it and write a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Just make sure that the description is above 300 characters, just so that you can move on from the first step. You can always amend it later. So 300 characters is just a minimum you have to fill out for now.
And again, you can see it out here in the live preview. Foundation is the Airbnb of holiday rental industry. Blah, blah, blah. We're a passionate team of 11 people, a genie pig, and we make renting easier than it has ever been. So that's the description of our little startup here, and we'll take you to the next step. Here, as you can see, we want you to put in your address, your working address. It's powered by Google Maps, so it has to be an address that is in Google Maps, of course. You can see we choose Talent Garden Rainmaking for this purpose. If you choose an address that is not valid, it'll show you this red box, but otherwise you just choose from the drop down and you'll find the office of your startup. Awesome.
Yes, ready to move on. And so we get to the actual website I mentioned before. This is really important that you fill out the correct actual website, preferably a domain you own, so that possible employees and investors can find more about you beyond just the Hub profile.
Yes.
Our website, as shown in the prior, is foundation.io for this purpose. We were created in 2018. We have 11 employees, and The other important part here is the organizational number. If you don't remember it, please look it up. We want a valid one. So for us, it's going to be this number right here. And with these details, we're next ready to go for the next one. In this tab, I want you to select your industry. As mentioned, we work with holiday rentals, which means that we are working within the service industry, but we also have a little bit of a impact side hustle coming up, so we also have impact tech aspect. These industry categories are used on our startup page so that possible investors, whoever is interested in startups, can look up startups based on these industry tags. So make sure that you tag all the ones relevant to you, and pretty much there you go. You're good to go for the next step.
Yes, and the next step is where you'll select the stage of which your startup is in. You might think, so what is the difference between these different stages? What you can do is click right here, and you get a little description of what it means to be in the idea stage, the prototype or product stage. You have a validated idea, prototype of your product, beta, go-to-market stage. Do you have paying customers? Are you ready to launch, that kind of stuff? Or you're in the later stage of startup lifecycle. It is the growth and expansion stage. You might be looking to expand to other markets, other countries. For this startup, we are going to choose, we go to market. We have the first paying customers. So why go to market? You see it here in the live preview. All the details we just talked about are filled out, and we go to the next stage. The next stage is again your moment to shine. It's here we want you to add beautiful team pictures. We want you to show the office space maybe, or a bit of the culture you might have in the startup team. As long as it's good quality photos and it shows your product or your team, it would be really, really good here on your startup profile. So we have made a bit of pictures ready of our office. We have a photo of our even more beautiful team. And we have a photo of the apartments we're renting out. So we'll add those three. You're welcome to add more if you have more, as many as you'd like, pretty much. What will happen is that the pictures will be shown right here, as you can see, looking crisp. And then we go to the next stage.
And in this stage, we want you to figure out what are the perks and benefits beyond the salary and compensation that you can provide for your employees. So for instance, in our case, we definitely have flexible working hours. If you want to work at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. or even 2 a.m., go for it. Social gatherings, free Friday beers.
Coffee and tea, I saw that one.
Yeah, where is it? Oh, yes. That's
our popcorn machine is awesome. We can add that.
Oh, free office snacks. We're also pet friendly. We have gym access and a gamified office with a ping pong table. So just choose as many as you feel are adequate to your startup, and they will all come up in your profile. And that's when you're ready to go to the next step, where you can list your team. As you can see, as the default user, I'm already featured here as Mariana Test. Let's put in a photo so you have a face to the name. And my job title, which is the CMO of Foundation.io in this case. And let's also add my colleague here, Andreas.
Yes.
Also Test, but we're not related, as far as I know.
Yes.
His face, his title, he's the co-founder and COO. You can also add the LinkedIn profile if you want to, but no need. But in some cases, especially if you have some amazing experience from back in the day, definitely worth showing off here. Just gonna add Andreas. He's gonna pop up into the team into preview, and with that, we're going to the next stage.
Yes, and that's the funding status. So there are basically three different options. You're currently not looking for funding, you're looking for funding, or you're already funded. We are awesome fundraisers ourselves, so we are already funded. So that's the option we choose. That will take us to the next step. With the quote, so this is your chance to enrich and personalize your startup profile. Our favorite intern in our little fake startup, Max, he has a quote where he says, "Life is all about traveling. I don't care about anything else. Beautiful words by Max, the myth, the legend.
Amazing.
Intern. And when you add a quote, it's optional, of course. But when you add one, you also have to add a quote photo. So we have a photo ready here of Max where he's out traveling. And this is what it looks like on site. So this is Foundation.io description.
All the images that we added in.
You can see them here. Working, yes, perks and benefits. And then the beautiful quote, of course, who can disagree, and the team. So it's all said and done right here. We go to the next and the last stage of it, which is the key figures. So don't be shy. Tell the world about your achievements. For our case, we are 11 happy employees. At least we hope they're happy.
Yeah, definitely so. We have already raised 5 million euros. Let's see that we have the correct amount of zeros there. And just make sure that this is in euros. So for instance, if you're from Sweden, you might be thinking krona, but let's just make sure that it's in euros for this purpose. How many customers do we have, Andreas?
120, I think. Okay. The last time I counted. You can always update this later, of course. These numbers will be added to the last part of your profile section, as you can see right here.
Exactly. So here we go. We have everything ready. Maybe it's a good idea just to do the quick run through. Again, no typos. And with that, we're good to go. We're done. We are just ready to submit. Obviously, just as a pointer, if somewhere along the way you get an important email and you have to just stop doing this, please press save and exit so you can always come back and continue creating a startup profile. But if you have the time, just sit down and do the 7 minutes and you will have it ready and submitted in no time.
Submit, and then what happens now, you might think? Let's get our faces back here on screen. Yes, so now you've submitted your startup profile. It's ready for review. What happens then is that we receive it in our inbox. We look it through. Is everything as it should be? Otherwise, we write you an email ASAP, or our team does at least. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out. But otherwise, welcome to the hub.
And you can just continue, go to the dashboard and start posting a job, whatever you like. But that's pretty much it. We walked you through and
see you another time.
See you in another video.